Good morning students. In the previous class we have discussed about the problems of freezing point, elevation and boiling point and osmotic pressure, and today I am going to discuss you about colligative properties of electrolyte. In solution this is the last topic. So generally what I have told you for you, colligative properties is nothing but the colligative properties of solution depends on the total number of solute particles but not on the solution. So here coming to electrolytes. So what do you mean by electrolytes? Means the solute particles, whatever it is, means it is dissolved in water. Means the electrolytes, the ions dissolve in water, we call it as the ions dissolve in water. The ions which dissolve in water we call it as electrolyte, and which does not dissolve in water the ions which does not dissolve in water we call it as non-electrolytes. Okay, I have told you in the previous class lattice energy and hydration energy. So in lattice energy what happens when we have taken NaCl, it is splitting into ions. Okay, that one we call it as lattice energy. When water molecules are attracting to those ions, that one we call it as hydration energy. So what do you mean by electrolyte? Electrolyte means what? It will be splitting as a ions. So here for example I am taking NaCl. Okay, NaCl means what? Here sodium chloride salt I am taking. So this is a only 1 mole. NaCl is 1 mole. So here it is dissociating into Na plus plus Cl minus. This is 1 mole and this is 1 mole. Means what it is giving? 2 moles. So see here, coming to colligative properties, the properties which depend upon the solute number of solute particles but not on the solution I have told. So when it is dissociating, so dissociation means what? This NaCl is splitting into Na plus and Cl minus. Means these are number of particles. The ions depends mainly on the number of the particles. Okay, so 1 mole it is giving the 2 moles. In the same way, if we take example CaCl2, calcium chloride, so this is 1 mole, so it is giving Ca2 plus plus 2 Cl minus. Means here 1 mole and it is giving 3 mole, 2 mole. So total how much? 3 mole. So and in the same way Al2SO4, aluminum sulfide. So what you will be getting? 2Al 3 plus SO4 2 minus. Here also what we are getting? This is 1 mole and here we are getting 2 mole plus here 1 mole. Total 3 moles. Means by this what we can say means electrolytes what we are taking, these all electrolytes only. So electrolytes ionize to give more than 1 particle per formula unit in solution. So this is nothing but the electrolytes. So here electrolytic colligative effect of an electrolytic solution is always greater than the non-electrolyte of the same molar concentrations. So this is the molar concentrations, right? So when what I have told you, the colligative effect means what? Electrolytic solution in colligative property. In colligative property, what happens? The electrolytic solution the electrolytic solution is greater than that of a non-electrolyte of the same molar concentration. Okay, so when you observe, these all are electrolytes. Why? Because these salts, whatever solutes we are taking here, it completely dissolve in water. So when it dissolve in water, for example, NaCl is, this is the NaCl solution. So 1 Na plus is surrounded by 6 Cl minus. Okay. So when we are adding water, automatically what happens? This Na plus is attracting the water molecules. In the same way, Cl is also attracting water molecules. Means there will be attraction. So what happens? Automatically it is dissolving in water. So this is nothing but electrolytic solution. So NaCl is giving 2 moles of Na plus and Cl minus, means it is splitting into ions. So automatically what happened? The electrolytic solution is always greater than the non-electrolyte of the same molar concentrations. Whatever concentrations we are taking, that one will be the non-electrolyte, means which cannot be dissolved in water. For example, acetic acid you can take. So acetic acid is a non-electrolyte. So these type of compounds. In the same way, benzene is also an example of the non-electrolyte. So this can easily soluble and this cannot be easily soluble in the water. So there will be some conditions. First one, for different solutes, of same molar concentration, means we are taking different types of solutes which contain same molar concentration. So what happens? The colligative properties have the greater value for the solution, which give more number of particles on ionization. Means what happens for different types of solutes? Means for example, NaCl, CaCl2, like the different solutes I am taking at same concentration. Same concentration means at one concentration I am taking. So automatically what happens? The colligative properties will increase, which gives more number of particles on solution. So see here, when I am taking NaCl, so automatically the colligative properties depends upon only on the number of the particles of the solute. Means these are number of particles of the solute. So what happens? That if you take different solutes also, same molar concentration, the colligative properties is having the greater values. Okay. So means 1 mole concentration if you are taking, 2 mole concentration you are getting. So means what? The colligative properties is greater for this solution, which give more number of particles, means more number of particles on ionization. By doing ionization only, this is we are getting. So that only we can say. Means by this we can say for different solutes of same molar concentration, colligative property is greater, which give more number of particles, okay, on ionization. Next one, next condition, if you are taking for different molar concentrations of the same solute. First what I have said, same solute is containing same molar concentration. So for this same solute I am taking different concentration. Means for different molar concentration of the same solute, what happens? The colligative properties will show the higher values, means it decreases. it decreases of the number of particles. But coming to here, what happens means the different molar concentration of same solute is greater value for the more concentrated solution. Means the solution will be having the more. Okay. So like this we can see. So for example, I am taking 2CH3COOH. So automatically what happens means CH3COOH twice. So here the concentration is 2. Here it is also 2. Okay, means what? The colligative property is increasing, which will show at solution it is increasing. Okay, so this is about the two conditions. And for solutions of different solutes also we can take, and for different molar concentrations also we can take. So same things happens. So then how to rectify this? So what is the condition to rectify this? Okay, so only this all because of what? Only electrolytes are dissolving in water only. If you recollect in the first, so when you see what the ions dissolve in water means only it is happening. So when it does not dissolve in water, what happens? Non-electrolyte. Then how to dissolve? Means the electrolytes never will dissolve in non-electrolyte. So to dissolve that, there will be one scientist. So that one Van 't Hoff. Van 't Hoff factor. Van 't Hoff scientist, what he did means for electrolytic solutions, for non-electrolytic solution, means how the electrolytic solutions are soluble in non-electrolytic solutions are explained by the Van 't Hoff. So Van 't Hoff factor is denoted by I. So Van 't Hoff factor is nothing but what means here the ratio of the Van 't Hoff factor is nothing but what here? The ratio of the molar mass. Okay, the ratio of the molar mass of the solution to the molar mass of the same concentration of solution. Means we can say here we are having abnormal molar mass also. So here concentration of the molar mass of solute to the of an electrolyte to the non-electrolyte. Okay, molar mass of solute of the non-electrolyte. So generally we are having abnormal molecular masses. Abnormal molecular mass means the molecular mass which determine the any substance of the electrolyte. Okay, the molecular mass which determine any substance of the electrolyte. This one we call it as abnormal molecular mass. Okay, means mainly what happens, the relation between colligative properties and also molecular mass of this solute. So what happens, this one we call it as abnormal molecular mass. So this abnormal molecular mass, generally what happens means it depends upon the Van 't Hoff factor I. So it mainly, for example, it depends only on two conditions. If the solution is dilute, and also the solute undergo dissociation or association. Okay, so if these conditions only, the abnormal molar class will accept. So here, coming to here, Van 't Hoff factor. So because of this Van 't Hoff factor means what here, Van 't Hoff factor we can say in abnormal mass, experimental value of colligative property, or we can say calculated value of colligative property. Okay, experimental value of colligative property and calculated value of colligative property also is known as Van't Hoff factor, or we can say calculated molar mass of solute, or experimental molar mass of see here, experimental value of colligative property we can say, or calculated value of colligative property we can say is as Van't Hoff factor, and I is equals to calculated molar mass of colligative solute and experimental molar mass of the solute. So this can be defined as I is equals to total molar mass after dissociation or association to the molar mass before dissociation or association. Okay, this is also known as Van't Hoff factor. So now let us take dissociation of solute particles and association of solute particles. Now dissociation is nothing but what means here AN is giving rise to Na. Let us consider the reaction here. So what happens means here N indicates number of moles. So coming to here, how many moles it is there? Only 1 mole. But coming to here, no moles, so it is 0. Okay. So when after dissociation means here we are taking the condition dissociation. Okay, so this is the dissociation. So what happens, for example, I am taking NaCl. So what happens, Na plus Cl minus means 1 NaCl. So coming to here, 1 mole, 1 mole, like the 2 moles, number of moles. So before dissociation, I am not doing any dissociation. So that's why what happens here, it is having 1 mole and it is having 0 moles. And after dissociation, so I indicates 1 minus alpha, so which is a minus alpha, which is going under dissociation process. Okay, so this is going under dissociation process, 1 minus alpha. So here how many moles we are taking? Here we are having only 1 mole, so that's why I have taken 1. So the dissociation is 1 minus alpha, which undergoes dissociation and ionization of the solute. On ionization gives ion particles. So that is what alpha is, degree of dissociation. So here what happens, coming to here after dissociation, here N moles we are having. So that's why I am writing N alpha. So in the formula what I have told you, total I is equals to what I have told you, total molar mass after dissociation or association. We are having means number of particles after dissociation. So what we are taking here, 1 minus alpha plus N alpha. Okay, so this is after dissociation. So dissociation of solute molecules is nothing but what means here electrolytes dissociate, means the electrolytes whatever we are taking here, that one dissociate in solution to give 2 or more particles, means 2 or more ions, which gives higher value of colligative properties. Okay, so in the same way the molecular mass of such substances are calculated from colligative properties will be less than their normal values. So certain solute undergo dissociation or association to show abnormal molecular mass. Okay, so this is determined by Van 't Hoff factor. Means what happens, electrolytes can dissociate in solution to give 2 or more particles. Means it will be higher value of colligative properties. Suppose the molecular mass of these substances are calculated. Means if suppose we are calculating these substances, there will be less values compared to the normal values. Okay, so in the same way they can undergo dissociation or association to show abnormal molecular masses, so which is determined by I. So for here, for solutes showing dissociation, so automatically what happens means, what I have told you, total number of particles or molar mass. Number of particles after dissociation we are getting 1 minus alpha plus n alpha. So then molar mass before dissociation. So before dissociation what we are having? 1. So we are writing 1 here. So if you take alpha one side, so what you will be getting? 1 minus 1 plus alpha into n minus 1, where alpha indicates degree of dissociation. Okay, so here we got I. So if suppose we keep alpha is equals to 1, so automatically what happens? 1 plus n minus 1, I is equals to n. So n, number of moles. So here NaCl I am taking 1 mole, so it is equals to 1. If suppose it is dissociating into 2 ions, 2 moles. Means what we are getting? 2 moles. I is equals to 2. So if n is equals to 2, I is equals to 2, like this. So here if suppose n is equals to 3, I is equals to 3. Okay, so this is nothing but the dissociation. For NaCl what? 2 ions it is dividing. If you substitute this one here, means I is equals to 1 plus n minus 1, 1 plus 2 minus 1. So 1 plus 2 minus 1, 2 we are getting. So how much we are getting? 2. N is equals to 2, I is equals to 2. So like this we are going to calculate. So this is I is equals to m. For dissociation the value is this one. If suppose we are keeping degree of dissociation is alpha equals to 1, we are getting this one, 1 cancel means I. So always I will be greater than 1. So whatever values we are getting here in dissociation, the values will be always greater than 1. In second condition, if you take association, so in association what happens means, there will be decrease in the number of particles of the solute. Means what happens, the colligative properties also decreases. And here we are taking example as acetic acid. So let us see the condition. So this is the dissociate molecule, and coming to associate molecule, An gives rise to Na gives rise to An, means number of moles is equals to An. So here before association what happens, 1 mole we are taking, so it is 0. If suppose I am taking 1 minus alpha, okay, suppose that in association condition, if Na molecules combines to give An, we have where alpha is degree of association to give concentration. So what happens, if n moles I am taking, so this one will be getting 1 by n. So in condition this is alpha, so this is 1 by n. So if suppose in condition after association I am considering, means 1 minus alpha gives rise to alpha by n molecules. See here once again I am explaining, where alpha is degree of association. So after association we are getting alpha. For n molecules it is giving 1 by n. So after association how we will be getting 1 minus alpha So alpha by n molecules we are taking. So what is the Van't Hoff equation? Total number of after dissociation or dissociation completed. We have to do association and divided by before dissociation. Means what we will be doing? So 1 minus alpha plus alpha by n. This is after association. If 1 you substitute, this is before dissociation. If you take alpha value common here, 1 plus 1 by n minus 1 into alpha. Okay, so this is the value you are getting here. So what happens after this? This is the value of the association. If alpha is equals to 1, what we are getting? If we want degree of association value, what we are getting? Alpha is equals to I minus 1 by n minus 1. This is degree of dissociation. Coming to here, what we are getting here? Alpha is equals to I minus 1 by n minus 1. So this is the degree of association value. So if you keep alpha value here 1, so what you will be getting? I is equals to 1 plus 1 by n minus 1. Plus 1 minus 1 cancels. So I is equals to 1 by n is the value you are getting. Van't Hoff factor value. Okay. So this is degree of association value. So now let us take example here. What I have told you, Na gives rise to An. So 2 moles of CH3COOH I am taking. So what you will be getting? CH3COOH twice you are getting. Okay. So means what? It is forming a dimer. What happens? Here acetic acid dissolved in molecule. So what happens? It is forming dimer. So how it is forming dimer means? So C double bond O H. Okay. And here CH3. Acetic acid I am taking. So like that only same molecule. OC double bond CH3. So like this it is forming the dimer molecule. So if it is formed 3 molecules means it is giving trimer. If it is forming 4 molecules means it is forming tetramer. Means what happens here? It is decreasing the colligative properties. Means it is not giving higher values of the colligative properties. This is the example we are getting here. So this is about the Van't Hoff factor and colligative properties of electrolytes and non-electrolytes and abnormal mass of the molecules. Okay. So by this solution topics were completed, and on Monday onwards I'll start you electrochemistry. Thank you.